Before starting the video, please make sure to subscribe my channel and press the bell button that you never miss any video to my channel. In this video I told you about 7 wacky things that seriously affect your sense of taste. Let's get started to the video. Number 1. The color of the food's packaging. 7-Up was one of the first brands to discover that consumers can quite literally taste color. In the 1930s, marketing expert Louis Cheskin experimented with the color of the brand's green and yellow can. When designers added 15% more yellow to it, consumers thought that the recipe had been altered to include more lemon. A similar situation played out with Coca-Cola when it decided to sell its signature Coke in white cans instead of red ones. Consumers said the Coke tasted different, despite the company stating that the recipe was the same. Number 2. The material of your eating utensils. One study found that yogurt was rated as more expensive and denser when it was tasted from a light plastic spoon, rather than an artificially weighted plastic spoon. And if you're slurging for higher quality cutlery than plastic, don't default to silver. Another study found that food tastes best on gold and stainless steel cutlery. It turns out, silver simply leaves a bad metallic taste in the mouth. Number 3. The music you're listening to. If you're the type of person who plays music during fancy dinner parties, take note, listening to soundscapes with lots of tinkling, high-pitched notes can accentuate our perception of sweetness up to 10%. We'll let you decide if that's something you want during the main course, but at the very least, it could be one way to amp up that pumpkin pie. Number 4. The type of eating utensil you use. One study found that cheese was rated saltiest when sampled from a knife, compared to a spoon, fork, or toothpick. And while the study notes that knives are not usually inserted into one's mouth, it did explain that the unusual behavior could have affected the taste. Number 5. The color of the food. It turns out, if the color of the food is artificially modified, it could throw off our brains entirely. In 2001, 54 students at the University of Bordeaux used red wine terms such as chicory, coal, prune, and tobacco to describe a white wine that had been dyed red. When they tried the same wine in its natural color, they described it as honey, lemon, and straw. Number 6. The language on your menu. Reading a mouth-watering description of a food on your menu could help you savor it more. In one study, when a menu item was described as a succulent Italian seafood fillet rather than a simple seafood fillet, its sales increased by 28%, and it was rated as tastier even though the recipe was the same. Number 7. The color of the plate. Baking a flavorful dessert can be hard to accomplish. One way to improve its taste? Serve it on a plate that contrasts with the dessert's color. One study found that participants rated strawberry mousse served on a white plate to be more flavorful and sweet than strawberry mousse served on a black plate. They believe it has to do with how the color of the mousse appeared in contrast to the plate.